Okay, so key more benchmark for your ads. If your ad set spent, and I alluded to this before, let's say $10 at a $5 a day ad that you set up, and it didn't generate sales, shut it down. Something is off, either the product or your interest. But don't keep burning money. Don't keep going and spending money. It's about minimizing your losses, maximizing your wins. If you have one out of three products, for example, that's doing well, and the other ones have zero sales, shut them down and keep the winner, and then work on the winner in terms of scaling. And remember, the whole point was to find at least one product that will start generating profit and build it up and then expand inside the same niche or different niches. So if one product is really working, the other ones are not, and it spent enough money and it gave you enough of these benchmarks, so to speak. And again, these are just benchmarks, so use your own common sense as well. Everything is kind of not working for the other ones. Shut them down. Focus on these things that do work and start to scale them up so they can keep working. And we'll talk about it today, how to scale those things. Again, Kevin is asking, shut it down after 3 days. Kevin, it's so I'm not going to say yes or no, because there's no such thing in this world that we're living in right now, that we're utilizing, the e-commerce arbitrage world, that has any definity to it, right? So it's not about the 3 days only. I just discussed this about 5-10 minutes ago. It's about a combination of things. But
so I just want to jump in real quick. Yeah, so Kevin, in regards to shutting it down, like there's a lot of variables, right? So if you're running an ad of $5 a day, it also depends on, for example, the profit of your product, right? So we have products where the profit is, let's say, $40 per item. We'll let it run maybe up to $20, $25, because if I just sell one product, I'm still in profit. Now, again, it also depends on a lot of things. I'm going to check how that ad is doing as far as CTR, if it's getting engagement, if it's getting shares. If I see an ad is getting a ton of shares, a ton of comments, and it's spent, let's say, $10, but no sale came in, I may let it run a little longer just to see, because a lot of times, if I share something with my friend, he may not see, people are not on Facebook 24/7, right? So if I share something with my buddy and I tell him, check out this item, he may buy it, but he may come back and buy it in 2 days. So when people share, it takes time. They may not see that share right away. So it depends. If your product is making you $4, for example, and you spend 20, now you got to sell 5 of them just to break even, whereas if your product is making you 15 profit, you can go 2 days, and if you sell one, you're only behind $5, and if one day brings you 3 sales, you're in profit already. So again, it depends a lot. You want to check your ads, see if there's comments, if there's shares. If there's no comments and shares after I say even like $5 or $6, you probably want to pause it, because something's off. Usually if it's a hot product, people are going to start commenting, they're going to start sharing, and then it takes off. So like I said, it will probably depend on how much the profit is, if people are engaging, your CTR. But you want to follow it along. Does that kind of help you and understand it? Awesome. All right, Boris, back to you.
Sweet, perfect. That's exactly, what we're trying to basically share with you guys, right? This is not a science. This is a combination of science and art, because there's many variables, just like Sam said, and you have to watch them all to make that decision, to make that call. So let's see. The way that we're running, again, this is something that we were really already covered, the fact that it takes 3 to 5 days. So I'm just going to move on. There's no need to dwell on that.